everybody hear me? Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Giovana. I'm from Brazil. And today I'm discussing a little bit about my master's research, well, part of it, which is the impact of extreme heat on people experiencing homelessness. Well, so a little bit of context. We know now that extreme heat is the deadliest climate hazard globally. But as the professor said before, these impacts are not proportional. So unhoused people actually they face greater impacts because they lack access to food, water, and any type of protection. And also very often their health conditions are compromised. And especially in Rio, which is my study area, these people, they remain in densely built areas, which are actually hotter. So my research question was, how does heat impact the unhoused population in Rio? My case study was in downtown Rio, and that is because this area has the greatest concentration of unhoused individuals. And I had to come up with methods because this was actually the first research work on homelessness and climate. So I had to combine qualitative data with quantitative data. So to analyze microclimate, I chose 6 hotspots selected by the highest concentration of homeless individuals. And on those spots, I took air temperature and humidity measurements. And I did that during the last summer, 24 and 25. Also, on those 6 hotspots, I conducted 10 interviews with homeless individuals. And I focused on social demographical conditions, like who are those people, and also on their access to water, food, and what are their experiences during heat events or heat waves. And here's a map. So we actually have a census, a homeless census in Brazil. And for Rio, this is their spatial distribution. So the yellow area is downtown Rio. We can see that by the blue spots, which are homeless individuals, this area concentrates a lot of them. And I selected those green spots, which are my data collection points, to do the interviews and also the measurements. And here I made a land surface temperature map of the city and also of the study area. We can see that downtown Rio is not actually the hottest part of the city, but since there were so many people there, it was actually very representative. We registered 51 Celsius there, so it's actually quite hot. And this was made using a satellite imaging from the same day in which I did the interviews and measurements. So my key findings. Regarding microclimates in downtown Rio, we had air temperature-wise, like 30 degrees in all measurements, which is 6 degrees Celsius above the citywide average for the year. We also had humidity-wise values that were below 50%, which is very low for Rio, and even in the water bodies. And we also concluded that land use and land cover were major players in heat distribution, and areas with heavy traffic and low vegetation, such as the bus terminals, were very hot, and these places are actually the places where unhoused people tend to concentrate. And the homeless in downtown Rio. So their profile indicated that they were mainly Black, male, and over 40, which is similar to the national service and actual local service. Regarding chronic illnesses, hypertension was the most common one. I also asked them about their location because I wanted to know why do they stay in such hot places. And they said that they stay in these places because those are the places which have income opportunities for them to make some money, like informal work for local merchants. So yeah, that was the main reason. And I asked about shelters. Why don't they stay in shelters? And they said that shelters are often very full and actually hotter than staying outside. So infrastructure was very poor. And regarding food, water, and hygiene, they say that they rely very heavily on NGOs or donations. And finally, their perception regarding heat impacts. So they said that the physical symptoms, the most common ones are dehydration and heat exhaustion. They also noted a worsening of chronic illnesses, mainly because most of them have hypertension, so they noted a worsening in that. Also, they pointed out some infrastructure barriers, such as no public drinking water fountains, no public showers, and the limited access to shelters. And I asked them about their cooling strategies. So during heat waves, what do? And they say that they seek to go to the beach, washing clothes in public fountains, and actually wearing them wet to cool down a little. And they also request bottled water from NGOs or passers-by, but we can see that those are very precarious strategies. Also, they noted that climate change is actually affecting them. They noted that the last few years have actually been warmer, and their demands are actually very simple. So they request that the public government put some showers and drinking fountains on the city so they can circulate with more security during heat waves. So I put out some quotes from interviewees. So one of them said, "They shut down the fountain," which is this one, "where I used to wash my clothes. It was my washing machine. Now I won't be able to wash anything anymore. I will end up throwing my clothes away." Here are two more quotes. So one of them said, "When it's really hot, my immune system gets very weak." So this guy, he was actually in the medical field before becoming homeless. And he said, "This week I felt really sick, extremely tired, and I had to go to the public emergency unit, and now I'm taking some medicine. The weather is very dry, my chest gets very congested, and my nose gets extremely dry." The other one said, "Having public drinking fountains and places to shower will be essential. Some people, they don't have any place to shower. Our only option is the beach, but now people can walk all the way there. But some people can walk all the way there, sorry. If someone doesn't want to stay in a shelter, they have no options." So I have four main conclusions. One of them is that heat is a socially produced risk. So not all people are exposed in the same way. It is produced through urban inequality. And I got this conclusion from noticing actually that these choices, they are made out of survival opportunities. So remaining in these areas is a survival strategy, because these are the areas where they have opportunities of acquiring some money. This vulnerability is intensified by the lack of protection and also restricted rights that deepen their exposure. And finally, heat becomes a threat to health and life, which is combined with their illnesses, their high exposure, and the poor infrastructure in the city. So thank you. This is my contact info. And yeah, thank you.